What's up? What's up? What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday. And you know what goes down here on Facebook on Tuesday? Wife Chat with Dr. Gail goes down here. So do me a favor and make sure that you're hitting the share button and letting all my one sexy wife know the Wife Chat is going down here. Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please put something in the chat just to say hello, to let me know where you're listening from, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, and well, what city or state or whatever. I come on here every single Tuesday to answer questions from around the world. Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you're putting something in the chat just to say hello. I appreciate you guys hopping on, but I'm here every single Tuesday to answer questions from wives from around the world. And I'm super excited that you guys are joining me. I don't take it for granted. I started Wife Chat around 4 years ago after I had a major car accident, and I literally was sitting at home just lonely, and I just went live, and I just been answering questions and talking to you guys on Tuesdays for the most part for the last 4 years. So I don't take it for granted. I truly appreciate you guys. I know everybody's busy and got 1,000 things going on. So please keep your questions coming. And how you can submit a question or a concern or something you want to talk to me about, all you have to do is either DM me, email me, go to my website or whatever, and you will remain anonymous. What I will say is this, question or concern or whatever came from a wife in wherever, Oklahoma or wherever, right? And I won't ever say your name or anything like that, because I do want to help wives, all over the world. This wife chat tonight comes from, hello, Keely. How are you? Thank you so much. How are you? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. But this chat tonight is how much time should my spouse spend with his single friends, right? This actually comes from a wife from Oklahoma. Her husband is 26, the wife is 24. They've been married a year and 3 months, so this is a new marriage, right? And she was really, really concerned, and she actually DM'd me. So I didn't get the opportunity to talk to her physically, but she did come to me, through my DM, and we went back and forth. And her concern was that he is spending a lot of times with his friends now that some of the restrictions when it came to COVID is lifted and stuff like that. And she just really getting concerned. With the restriction from COVID, a lot of people are just out and about. They want to be free. They've been cooped up with their spouse or their kids and all these kind of things. So people are just like, bulls in a pen, just ready to go, right? And so I had to kind of like talk her off a ledge and said, I understand that he's hanging out with single friends, but you have to realize for almost most of your marriage, you guys, since they only been married a year and 3 months, most of them, y'all have been kind of cooped up in the house. And she said that they were both working from home and all those kind of things. And so now that he's able to get out, he is out. But I just want to give her some tools and strategy. And anybody who's dealing with this, no matter how, old or young you are and how long you've been married or whatever, every last one of us have some single friends, whether it's your spouse or you, because I have some single girlfriends, love them to death. We have an amazing time as well. But again, you have to make sure that you put it into perspective when you're dealing with, your single friends, right? And a lot of times, when you are more mature, like I've been married 33 years, so when you're dealing with more mature people, more mature single people that are your friends, understand the boundaries and understand a lot of things when it comes to marriage, right? So they don't cross that line. But these young people are young as my kids, to be honest with you. So I can see the struggle that she's having with him constantly wanting to hang out with his friends. Thank you so much. Dear Gail, your words of wisdom are helping me going through difficult times in my marriage. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. That was from YouTube. Thanks for doing things doing fine. Thank you so much, Keely. Again, a lot of times, when you're dealing with single people or whatever, it is a different lifestyle. The single people did live a totally different lifestyle from married people, right? For one, they don't, they have different priorities. For two, they don't have to really answer to anybody, right? For three, they don't have no perimeters on what time is they should be home, because they're not coming home to, a husband or anything like that. They don't have, they can leave work and not say, oh, I need to do this, or I'm going, they don't have to call anybody. They can pretty much plan and execute their life the way that they want to. And it's nothing wrong with that, right? But as a married person, right, you have to, call and say, hey, I'm getting ready to go do this or whatever. So your spouse does not be worried about you, and also just are very respectful to who you are, and the marriage and the covenant and all those different kind of things. So my suggestions to this wife is, don't be so gun-ho and telling him not to hang out with his single friends. And I say that because if you get where you are so, against it, it's going to cause a lot of trauma, a lot of headache, and a lot of heartache in your marriage that is unnecessary, right? Because eventually what's going to happen is, as you guys begin to grow as a couple, you will begin to find other couples that are like-minded and like to do the same things that you do, and all those kind of things. So the shift will begin to happen. You guys have been married such a short period of time, and really you have only really been out in the public married and doing these kind of things for 3 months, because when COVID hit, you guys were kind of locked in the house. So those shifts had happened. Also, when your husband, got married to you, I'm sure his single friends were at the wedding or whatever. So you kind of knew when you were dating how they rolled in the first place. So it's very hard for somebody just to go from being able to hang out with their friends, enjoy their friends, to making that shift so quickly, especially when COVID hit and he was not able to make that transition a little bit quicker, right? So my thing is, don't become a nag, and don't make it where you cause a lot of friction in your household over this single friend. The other thing is try to hold, now that you can have people over and stuff like that, try to hold single and married functions like barbecues and things at your house, so he can also get acquainted with more married people and have positive married people that he can see that you can still have fun and stuff like that. Also have his single friends over as well, so that way there's a balance in the house, and he can see, that my single friends are not fitting well in with my, my married friends, or he can find that balance as well, and know that he can go to dinner with a couple and you guys can have just as much fun with a married couple as you can with his single friends. But you're going to have to start balancing those things. And when Gil and I got married young at 21 and 22, that's what began to happen. We met some amazing married couples, right? But we also still had our single friends. And we began, I too, and he was like, you hanging out too much with your friends. And I was saying he was hanging out with his friends. But when we started to merge the two, actually some of the single friends started dating and doing stuff like that. But also they began to, we began to gravitate more and say, let's hang out with this couple because we had more in common with them. And we just began to kind of shift our lifestyle to being more with more married couples. But it took some time, and it also took us maturing in our marriage as well. And I'm just saying that right now, you guys are so young or whatever, just to say we're married now, we're cutting off all our friends, is not fair to you as a woman to do it, and it's not fair for him, right? Also, a lot of people think that single people have a bad influence over, married people and all those kind of things. That's not true. If your spouse or you guys sit down and have a conversation and put perimeters on what is allowed when you're hanging out with your friends, don't get sloppy drunk and all of those different kind of perimeters. It's going to really help him understand that it's okay to hang out with your friends, but I'd appreciate it if you don't come in at this time of night, or you don't get, drunk, or whatever those things that we usually think happens when you're hanging out with your single friends. If you set those priorities and you and those boundaries, and you do it in a loving way and not in a pressure way, I believe that your husband will understand, as well as you will make those shifts. Because if you keep trying to put so much pressure, it's just going to cause a wedge. It's going to cause you guys to argue and fight. And those are unnecessary fights that you really don't want, right? Eventually, as you guys mature together as a couple, I believe that the shift will happen. You will have more couples that you hang out with and have a great time. And again, it's nothing wrong hanging with your single friends, as long as they respect your marriage and your covenant, and they understand the boundaries that you both have put in place. I think is a good thing. And also sometimes when you have mature single friends, and you're having conversations, they give you a whole different perspective than you would get from a married couple that has been married for a long time. Because a lot of times when you're married for a long period of time, you don't you're going to give that person the advice looking at from your own personal experience of being married so long. Sometimes a single person can get you to see something at, like, when if you're struggling and you're like, I just can't, I hate going home, how we complain and all these different kind of things. Sometimes a single person will say to you, I wish I had somebody to come home to and lay in the bed with, and somebody to make sure that I'm okay, because when I'm sick, I got to call somebody to come over. All of those things, they bring back to you what marriage was all about and how we take each other for granted. And sometimes they put the perspective back into, you should be grateful, and I wish that I had what you had, right? And those are the kind of girlfriends that I have, my single friends, that always remind me, Gail, it's really hard out here being single. So appreciate your marriage, work at your marriage, get stronger in your marriage. But again, these are mature women that understand the covenant that I have, and they also understand they have been married before and they want to be remarried. So again, it's all about age and transitions and all of those different kind of things. So my prayer is, a wife from Oklahoma, that I said something that's going to help you enhance your marriage. And I want to see you win in every area of all you guys' marriage. I truly appreciate you guys hopping on here. Just know that when I get off of here, I go and I look in my DM. I go and respond to everything that you have said on my timeline. I am so grateful that you guys have allowed me in your personal space for over 4 years. I don't take it for granted. Um, um, I will be holding a workshop called Married Roommates to Sexless Marriage on this Saturday. It's not too late for you to register, but the registration will be closed on Thursday. So make sure you go to gailcrowder.com. There's no shade if you're in a sexless marriage. So many people are getting that spot and they don't know how to get out. And I'm going to teach you tangible things that you can do right away. When I say right away, when you get off that webinar, in order for you to start implementing to get out of a roommate situation if your marriage has gotten in a place where you guys are just living like roommates, college roommates, okay? And so go to gailcarter.com if you need that assistance. I love you guys to pieces. I will see you guys on Thursday on my YouTube channel with Wife Life with Dr. Gail. You guys have an amazing, amazing night. And don't forget, if you need me, you know how to find me.